The year is 117 AD. Rome dominates the known world with an iron grip. From the scorching sands of North Africa to the dense, mist-covered forests of Germany, the rhythmic thunder of marching legions echoes across the earth. To the common citizen, the empire is more than a nation. It is an eternal, unstoppable force of nature. They see only the gold, the marble, and the glory of an endless horizon. But beneath this veneer of absolute power, the foundations are beginning to tremble under their own massive weight. The world believes in a Rome that cannot fall, unaware that the peak of its reach is also the edge of its precipice. Inside the quiet shadows of the imperial palace, Emperor Hadrian stares at a map of a crumbling future. His fingers trace supply lines that stretch until they snap. He reads the frantic reports of border skirmishes arriving daily from every corner of the map. He realizes a brutal, silent truth. Rome is drowning in its own success. Every new province conquered is not a prize, but a fresh wound that requires constant blood to heal. The treasury sits empty. The borders have grown dangerously thin. The army is spread so far across the continents that it can no longer strike back. The giant has grown too large to feed itself. Hadrian summons his generals. They arrive with maps of the east, expecting orders for a glorious new campaign to expand the borders even further. Instead, Hadrian speaks words that sound like heresy. He orders a total and immediate halt to all Roman expansion. Silence fell, then a command stunned all. He orders the construction of massive stone barriers across the most volatile edges of the empire. In northern Britain, the transformation begins. Thousands of battle-hardened soldiers trade their sharp swords for heavy chisels. Giant stone blocks begin to rise from the earth, carving a permanent, jagged scar across the wild landscape. This is the birth of Hadrian's Wall. Critics in Rome are furious. They whisper in the corridors of power, calling their emperor a coward. They demand more glory, more slaves, and more land to plunder. To them, the wall is not a shield, but a cage that imprisons the Roman spirit. They cannot see the wisdom in restraint. Hadrian ignores the venomous whispers and the political schemes. He watches the stones being set into the cold earth, knowing a hard truth his enemies refuse to face. A kingdom that grows without limit is a kingdom that is merely preparing for its own violent collapse. He chose a stable border over a fleeting victory. Hadrian dies, leaving a stable empire behind, but his successors ignore the warning. They push outward again, and the wrought Hadrian fear takes hold. The economy cracks under military spending. Riots tear through Rome. Soldiers abandon the walls to fight for the throne. Today, historians look at those ruins not as a sign of weakness, but as the last desperate attempt to save a civilization from its own greed. Hadrian understood what the powerful always forget. The greatest threat to a superpower is not the enemy at the gate, but the refusal to recognize when the horizon has become a trap. The stones remain, a silent testament to the limits of glory.